So I want to welcome everyone to tonight's info session on Young at Wellesley Station. Just to introduce tonight's info session, my name is Scott Ma. I'm the Director of Pre-Construction Sales and Marketing at HomeLife Landmark. And we're really excited for this project and really appreciate everyone attending tonight to get a sneak peek at some of the project details, pricing, and floor plans, which we'll go through in more detail very soon. So to start off, I want to give some general comments about, I think, the pre-construction market and also the real estate market in Toronto and the GTA. We all know that, COVID is still with us, and, the interest rate has gone up, and there's lots of movement in the market, in the real estate market, and I think in the economy more generally. So I think whether you're an agent or an investor, you're looking at what you can buy today. I think you always want to consider pre-construction, no matter which kind of point we are at in the economy, in the economic cycle, you always want to be open to new opportunities. And I think there's always opportunities, whether we're in an up or down cycle. And, there's still lots of great products coming out from many different builders. I was just at an event earlier, at an event hosted by Fremont, and they have about 1,200 new construction units coming online next year. And they plan on having over 1,000 units every year after 2023. So I think that says a lot about, the builder's confidence in the real estate market, and the fact that end of the day, supply is still very limited compared to the demand that we're experiencing. There's lots of immigrants coming to Canada. There's lots of people moving into the GTA or to the downtown core. There's lots of immigration and demand for housing. And I think we're still seeing this in the pre-construction market, in the residential market, both resale and leasing. If you're very active in the leasing market, you will know that the rental market is still very strong. And I think that's supported by the fact that there's lots of, young professionals moving into the downtown core. There's lots of young families, even retirees, they're looking to downsize and, move into a larger condo unit. So I think these are all good factors to keep in mind. I think we can start kind of diving into this brand new project by Plaza. So just to give an introduction, if you haven't worked on a Plaza project before, you will know that they have been in the business for well over 40 years. They are very respected and well-known in the industry. They're synonymous with quality, integrity, and very consistent returns for their investors. So for decades, they've been investing in land, low-rise, and high-rise development. Let me just fix my internet. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. So as I was saying, Plaza Corp is very well known in the real estate industry. They focus on investing in land, low-rise and high-rise development. And they're also, very focused on technology, making sure that the product meets the market demand and is always positioned for the future. So, their core values are integrity, transparency, alignment, and consistent returns. And these really are the foundations of the Plaza brand. And, HomeLife Landmark, we have worked with Plaza for many, many years on a lot of their projects. Most recently, we worked on Plaza on Yonge. We've also worked on 400 King, King East Estates up in, North York, Stouffville area, and other, projects in the past. So let me show you some of the projects we've worked on for Plaza. So that includes number 1 Yorkville, 1 Yorkville Avenue in Toronto in 2020. Also in 2019, we worked on 50 Wellesley Street East which is also in Toronto. And that project is pretty close, as you can tell by the name. It's pretty close to Yonge at Wellesley Station. And another project we worked on is the Met at 7895 Jane Street in Vaughan, and that was also in 2020. So you can see, Plaza is very active in the GTA market. They are consistently focused on, acquiring new sites, zoning for high or low density development, and they're, very adept at pricing and making sure the product that they deliver at the end of the day is meeting the market demand and also positioned for the future. Especially if you're an investor or a buyer, you want a great product today, but you also want to make sure that when you do go to sell your investment, that you get a great return and that the product at the end of the day is of high quality. So Yonge at Wellesley Station is the name of this project, and this is Plaza's newest luxury high-rise development. And the location is actually around the Yonge and Wellesley area. So it's got a great, almost perfect walk and transit scores. If you are familiar with the downtown area, you know that Yonge and Wellesley is a very, hip, I would say, and vibrant location. There's lots of restaurants. The subway is very close by. There's very easy access to universities, shopping, and other lifestyle amenities. And I think this is one of the, great locations in Toronto that can really connect your life to the downtown, lifestyle. And, you're really just a subway ride away from, accessing the financial district or King West or Union Station or Yorkville. It's a very central location. And I think the fact that it's right by the transit is what gives you all this great access. Being by transit is, I think, one of the greatest things living in downtown Toronto. Compare this to, let's say, New York City or London. The subway acts as a major artery for the city. And for people who live downtown, I think being by transit is really important. If you're a young professional, you want to hop on the subway and be able to get to work in, say, 10, 15 minutes. And if you're a student, you also want to be within walking distance to the university or, a short bike ride away. And I think Yonge and Wellesley Station really gives you all of these important amenities. And so, as I was saying, location is really the #1 factor when you want to consider buying real estate. So, whether you're buying in downtown Toronto or Markham, Richmond Hill, Oakville, East Toronto, you always want to consider the location. And, if you're an end user, does this location give you all of the amenities and lifestyle options that you want? And if you're an investor, you want to consider how is the rental market in this specific neighborhood? Is this project positioned to give you a healthy rental return and ultimately capital return? So Yonge at Wellesley Station, the official address is 20 to 26 Maitland Street. So this is just steps away from Yonge Street and Wellesley Street, just at the southeast corner. And again, it's a very bustling and highly sought after downtown location, literally steps away from Wellesley subway station. And again, the transit score is 95 and the walk score is 99. So you really have the best of transit, best of walking distance to a lot of the great downtown amenities. And so here you can see, where this project is located relative to some of the other, let's say projects or amenities in the area. So you'll see this is Yonge Street going north to south. And this is Wellesley going from west to east. And so Yonge at Wellesley Station is just to the southeast corner of Yonge and Wellesley. So, I think we talk about transit a lot, and here you'll see the fact that transit is right at your doorstep. You're steps away from subway to bus routes. And Young and Bloor Station and College stations are actually within walking distance, or you can obviously take transit to get to those areas. College Station is only a 5-minute walk, and Wellesley Station is only a 2-minute walk. So if you're considering, renting to a student who goes to U of T, let's say, the fact that they're a 2-minute walk to Wellesley Station means they can take the bus, straight to the university. If they're a young professional, they can take Wellesley Station or College Station and really travel, directly to the financial district or to, King West or Queen West, all those different pockets within downtown Toronto. And again, I think if you're thinking about, students, U of T, the St. George campus is only a 10-minute walk away. And the Toronto Metropolitan University, formerly known as Ryerson, that's also 10 minutes walking distance. So I think if you're familiar with the area, you will know that, the Yonge and Wellesley area, Yonge and Bloor, going west to, Avenue Road in Queen's Park. This pocket is actually very, very popular with students because it is walking distance to the campuses, because it's very close to, all the major university libraries, restaurants and shopping. When you're a student, you want to be able to kind of focus on your studies and also have that downtown lifestyle. So I think being in this area really gives you all of those things. And I personally know this because I've gone to university for my law degree. So I know about, what people want, what students want from, where they're living, what they want from the downtown lifestyle. And really it's about, I think, convenience. It's about different amenities, and it's about transit, because transit connects you to so many different parts of downtown Toronto. You want to be close to different restaurants, shopping. If your friends are living in, let's say, Liberty Village, it might be harder to get to those friends than if you're kind of more centrally located, in the Bay, Dundas, Yonge Wellesley areas, right? So I think these are very important factors to kind of keep in mind when you're considering, different projects out there. And as I mentioned, amenities is a very important aspect. So Yonge at Wellesley Station is located right in the, one of the downtown core areas. Residents will be walking distance to many shopping, dining, and entertainment options. So you've got the Toronto Eaton Center, IKEA downtown, Yonge and Dundas Square, Yorkville, Financial District, the waterfront as well, is probably only a 10-minute transit ride away. So it truly is, kind of in the middle. You're not kind of in Yorkville, with Yorkville prices and Yorkville rents. You're kind of south of Yorkville, but also north of Financial District, right? You're kind of right in that sweet spot in the middle. You're not in the super luxurious Yorkville area. You're also not right in Financial District. You don't want to really, let's say, go home to where your office is, being next door, right? So you will kind of want that distance. And again, if you're a student, you're within walking distance to university and also walking distance to all of these other great amenities downtown. So we've got some exclusive aerial views of what it would be like, from some of the units looking north, south, east, and west. So from here, you'll see from the 20th floor, you've got your east view, and west views. I think, some people, if you're expecting clear lakefront, views, you might need to recheck your expectations, because we're talking about living in downtown, so not every building is going to have, a view of the lake. But you can see here, you actually have a view of the CN Tower, even from the 20th floor facing south or southwest. You get a pretty good view of the CN Tower. I think all these views are very good for having that city view. You've got a lot of green spaces. great kind of sunlight, daylight. And I think these are all excellent views, even from the 20th floor. And then when you go up to the 40th floor, your views are actually really, really excellent. Here you do get some lake views. So looking east from the 40th floor, you see you've got a bit of that lake view. West view you have there. North view, I think that's one bloor in the center of the picture there. And then facing south, again, you see this really amazing, amazing shot of downtown Toronto with CN Tower, financial district here. So I think these are all excellent views. And of course, views are only part of it, right? So we also want to get into some of the project details. So obviously this is a condominium building. Pricing, which I'll go into a bit more detail later on, is starting from $599,000. And the total stories will be 40 stories, 40 legal stories. And total number of units will be 502. And estimated occupancy is July 2026, which is fairly in line with most of the projects these days. For a condo building, you need at least 4 or 5 years for the building to be built. And location is 20 to 26 Maitland Street. So in terms of the deposits, again, I think very standard when you compare it to other projects in the GTA. If you're a Canadian citizen or resident of Canada, so then you will be going by the local deposit structure, which is basically 20% in total, with 5% on signing, 5% in 180 days, and 5% in 365 days, and then finally 5% on occupancy. So really, it's only 15% before occupancy, and I think that's quite an attractive deposit structure. Some projects are requiring maybe 20% before occupancy. So this is definitely very competitive structure for the deposits. And then if you're an international buyer, the total deposit is going to be 35%. Again, very standard for most pre-construction projects. So 10% on signing, 10% in 180 days, and 10% in 365 days. And then finally 5% at 540 days. And we have here the law firm that's going to be holding the deposits. So deposits will be payable to Eisenman and Dale LLP and Trust. And now we have a preview price list. So you can see some of the starting prices. Here we have the prices for the 6th floor. And I'll quickly go over how the floors kind of work. So basically, in terms of the marketing floors, there's no 4th floor, there's no 13th floor, and there's no 14th floor. So when we talk about legal level and marketing level, let's say we're talking about legal level 7. Legal level 7 is actually marketing level 8 because we've skipped level 4 for marketing purposes. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about which units you or your clients want to purchase. Again, there's no 4th floor, there's no 13th floor, and there's no 14th floor. So all of the other floors are available. So in terms of the total number of marketing levels, it's 43 levels. But obviously, in terms of legal stories, there's only 40 stories. So you can see here, we have a really good mix of studio units, 1 bedrooms, 1+1, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms as well. And the sizes start from 389, 345 for a studio unit, all the way up to 835 for a 3 bedroom. You've got your different exposures there, and you've got your starting prices. So you can see the average per square foot is starting at $1,605 for the 6th floor. So that's actually, I think it's very attractive, very competitive. You may be already comparing this to some of the other projects that are launching or have launched, maybe close to this area or within the downtown core. If you're a long-time investor, you've kind of seen how the market has developed. And I think you will agree that $1,600 per square foot is very attractive considering you're buying at Yonge and Wellesley. It's a major area for growth and development. A lot of students, a lot of young professionals are moving here. They want to be in this neighborhood. They like being close to transit, close to the universities and financial core, and having all these great amenities right by where they live. So I think you want to keep all these things in mind when you're considering, units and pricing and also incentives. Obviously we are giving you, literally the first exclusive preview of pricing. And what that means, you get the first selection of units when they're allocated. So I think it's a great chance to get right into this project. Again, it's one of the few projects I think today that's selling in a great core area, and it's right by transit, and it's got all these great amenities close by. So some of the important notes I want to draw your attention to, you're probably going to ask already in the chats or after I'm done here. Floor premiums. So from the 6th to the 30th floor, it's 1,000 per level. And then from the 37th to the 41st floor, it's 3,000 per floor. So, you can kind of figure out if you're starting at a price for the 6th floor, and let's say you want to buy on the 28th floor, the difference is about 22, 23 stories. So about $23,000 difference. Levies are capped, which is excellent. So for studios, 1 bedrooms and 1+1s, the levies will be capped at 17,000. And this includes all of the development levies. So, development charge, education levy, park levy. For 2 bedrooms or larger, the cap levy will be 19,000. So for those of you who maybe are not as familiar with pre-con, you always want your levies to be capped, because in the event, the municipality or the city increases development charges, or for some reason, the builder has to increase development charges per unit. The fact that it's capped means that you're not going to be paying more money on closing in case the development charges do increase. So it's kind of an insurance policy to make sure that, if I know I'm paying 17,000 today, then when I close, I know I'm only going to be paying 17,000 as far as development charges are concerned. Next item, we have parking. So parking will be 100,000 for let's say regular units, 150,000 for electric vehicle parking. And this is only for 3 bedrooms only. I think some of you might ask, well, I've got clients who want parking for a 1-bedroom unit or a 2-bedroom unit. Or if you're considering investing, you might think, well, if I'm renting out a 2-bedroom unit with no parking, who's going to rent this unit from me? So the answer I have for you is that you don't need parking for, condo unit downtown Toronto, because I personally lived in downtown Toronto. I can tell you having a parking unit is a lot of more of a burden than it's actually a benefit, because it'll take you 30 minutes to come out from your building and to get anywhere within, let's say, 5 kilometers from the downtown core. Parking is expensive, car insurance, maintenance for the parking spot, and the fact that you're at Yonge and Wellesley Station, you've got transit, there's no reason for you to have parking, unless let's say you have a 3-bedroom unit and you're a family. Obviously you may want to consider having a parking unit. But I think for most investors, even if you're an end user, for 1 bedroom, 1+1, or 2-bedroom, I really don't think you need parking. And especially if you're going to be renting out your unit, today, I think parking, there's less and less availability of parking units within new construction, because, for builders, digging for parking spaces for parking level is expensive. And we're already seeing a lot of people, they don't want parking, they don't need parking, because transit is, again, improving. We've got the new, Toronto line being developed right now. Metrolinx is expanding their network. So I think as transit develops and becomes more accessible and easier to use, you're really going to see less of a need to have a parking unit. Obviously, if there is one and you can afford one, it's a great to have. But I personally think it's not a necessity for investing in a condo unit. Lockers are priced at $10,000. Deposits, we've already talked about. The payable for the deposit, we've talked about. Occupancy, as I said, is estimated to be July 2026. Maintenance is 69 cents per square foot for the unit. Obviously, there will be a bit of maintenance fee if you have a parking unit or a locker. And signing is going to start from June. And how you're going to secure a unit is you will submit a worksheet through us and prepare a bank draft of $30,000 payable to Eisenman and Dale LLP and Trust. And once we get a unit allocated, hopefully for you, then for that initial 5% deposit, you're basically going to be making up the difference with a second bank draft. So that 30,000 bank draft is really to kind of reserve your space, because we kind of deal with worksheets on a first come first served basis. So the sooner you can get your worksheet in and provide a bank draft, the better your chance at securing a unit at Plaza at Wellesley Station. So before I jump into the floor plans, I see there's one question. So Jean said parking maintenance fee has increased drastically too. So yeah, that kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's getting more and more expensive to create parking spaces for condo buildings. When you have 300, 400, 500 unit condominium building, at some point it starts making less and less sense to have multiple parking levels, right? Because every level that you dig gets increasingly more expensive. So that's why for the parking spaces that they are selling, they're reserving it for 3-bedroom units only. There's a bit of maintenance fee, obviously, for the parking, but that's kind of all goes towards what kind of unit you're looking for, what's your end purpose. Are you an end user or are you buying as an investment? I would say, when you're buying for an investment, you probably want to focus on the smaller units, studios, 1-bedrooms, 1+1, because if you're going to be renting it out, you're going to be renting it out to students or young professionals. You don't need a 2-bedroom unit if you're a single person or even a young couple. Most friends that I know who live downtown, we've gone by with, living in a studio or 1-bedroom. It's all kind of part of, getting that downtown lifestyle, living downtown. Everyone kind of goes through it when you're at the stage of your life. And the other part is, if you are an end user, you may want to consider a larger unit. So maybe a 2-bedroom, 2+1, or even 3-bedroom. I think those are all very attractive, pricing. And so let me take you to the floor plans. So I've got over 30 floor plans here. I'm not going to show everyone, all of the floor plans, but I'm going to focus on, a select few for each of the suite types. So here we've got a studio units, and before I keep going, I want to kind of explain to everyone, these floor plans are, I think, very well designed. All of the units are very square or rectangular. There's really not that much wasted space. And I think that's kind of partly the fact that this piece of land is, you can see the building is very square. The land is very square. So that really allows you to have more functional and efficient units. So here we've got a studio unit, and let me see here. So this unit is facing east. So you see the north is facing up. East is going to be on the right side. And it's a studio unit. Sorry, not studio. This is a 1-bedroom unit. So you've got the hallway here. Your kitchen and your living areas are kind of combined. You've got your bedroom here with a closet, and then your washroom is at the front. So I think it's a very efficient unit. You probably have seen some other plans. Maybe they have like a kitchen kind of in the hallway, or the bedroom is kind of part of the kitchen. I think there's good separation here, and you even have a balcony facing east. So that's pretty good floor plan. The next one is a 1+1. So you got your den when you walk in the door. I think a lot of people these days are working from home and they'll want a small den area for their home office. As you keep going, you've got your washroom, your bedroom, and again, your living, dining, and kitchen areas are combined. And you've got a balcony here as well. So the next one is a 2-bedroom unit, 702 square feet. And this one is facing southeast. So, very good exposure. You see there's a very large balcony here. When you walk in, you've got the kind of guest washroom at the front. Your master is here with an ensuite. And then as you walk further in, you've got your kitchen and living dining area, and then your second bedroom here. In that area, Ryerson recently rebranded to the Toronto Metropolitan University. There's a lot of new developments going on in the area. So I think it's quite an active neighborhood and very, ripe for new opportunities. And I think if you are looking to invest yourself, or you have clients who are looking to invest, I think Yonge and Wellesley is definitely a great project to consider. So I just want to go over some of the details again. Pricing is from $599,000. Total stories is 40. Total number of units about 500. July 2026 estimated occupancy. The address is 20 to 26 Mainland Street. Deposit basically is 20% for local and 35% international. And the local, it's 15% until occupancy, and on occupancy it's another 5%. So really it's 15% before occupancy. I think that's great. A lot of projects these days are 20% before occupancy. And the pricing again, the average starting price from the 6th floor, we're calculating it at around 1,600 a square foot. And I think that's very attractive. If you look at what's sold in the Yorkville area or Yonge and Bloor area, which is only, maybe a 2-minute walk north, those prices are far greater than 1,600. 1,600 is probably where you're looking at, maybe more south or southeast of Yonge and Wellesley. So I think those are all good, factors to consider. And, if you're an end user, maybe you want to consider a bit of a higher floor. Floor premiums are not huge. It's $1,000 a floor for, some of the lower levels. Once you get to kind of the higher levels from 38, 37, 38, it gets to $3,000 a floor. Most of the units, floor premium is $1,000 per floor. And, you won't have parking. If you don't need a locker, really it's the unit itself. And the maintenance is estimated to be 69 cents a square foot. I think I covered most of the items here already. And again, if you have solid interest, if you have clients who are interested, really strongly suggest you to submit a worksheet, tell us what you're looking for, and prepare a bank draft of $30,000 payable to Eisenman and Dale LLP and Trust if you want to secure a unit, because signing is going to start next month, probably in the early weeks of June. And if you want to secure that unit, you need to have a bank draft. Without a bank draft, we're going to move on to the next person with a bank draft. So you want to get your worksheet in as soon as possible and get your bank draft ready as soon as possible. If you have any questions, email us. Our general mailbox is hello@homelifelandmark.com. You can also email me at scottma@homelifelandmark.com. You can visit us on our website, HomeLifeLandmark.com. We have all of the new construction projects with full details available on our website. Also follow us on social media. And I want to thank everyone for listening in. And we actually have a surprise here. So our marketing manager Yang is actually on site, and he's going to do a live stream. So let me stop my share and yeah, Yang, you can unmute and show us the area.
Hello, everyone. Can you see me now? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, so this is the subway station at Wellesley Station. You can see the map here. So the Young and Wellesley Station is over there. Is the parking lot there. We can cross through and show the sign. So be careful. After this bus go. Okay, so we just crossed the parking lot here. So we will see the sign. So you will see around here a lot of the residential, and also Mainland Street is the interior street. So it's very quiet compared to the Young Street. So just away 2 minutes walk, so we can see the sign here. So right now, this parking lot is already removed, so you can see the sign and after the fence. So we just looking around here. And right now it's just 8:30, so they have so much light, so you can see very clearly. So you can see no buildings on this side. And we will go into the entrance of the building very soon. So you can see it's very quiet here. There's also a condo building. It's very hard to find a very quiet, night place in downtown, because this is a full of people and full of the residential. But as I said, it's a very quiet street. It's just a step to the Young Street. Young Street is over there, so it's facing west. So we come here to see the building area. So right now you can see the one sign here. So it's the government notice for new development. So we can see the address is 20 to 26 Midland Street. And right now we can see around the building, how many buildings and how tall are they. So the first floor we facing the west. You can see right now they have a parking lot there. The parking lot will not be removed right now. And you will see a very clear west view. And far away, you can see the tall building here. I think it's the 11 Wellesley. And this is the west side. And let me check. So this is the north side. So north side, and far from the building, you will see a lot of tall building. It's very long history of those buildings. But you can see it's only the one low level, the high buildings here. Let us the calculator. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. maybe around 7 to 8 stories, it will block your views. So if you opt for that, so you can get a much clearer the city view. And this is the north, south, west, east. So now we turn to the east side. So as same as the west side, you can see it's very clear the view. And also this is a street to the enter the community. So right now, the east view, you can see a very low building. So let us calculate. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. It's a 4-story building right now. And now we turn to the south facing. So south facing, you will see a little bit mid-high story building. So we calculated before, I think it will be 13 or 14 stories. It's like, it's in the southwest facing. And for the very turn to the south facing, you will see a low-rise building. It's around 3 stories. So you can see around this area. So this is no very high building to block this building's view. So I will say each way and each exposure is very perfect right now. And also you can see, we just turn a little bit right and left. You can see the Wellesley Station is over there. It's literally the 2 minutes walk from your building. So you can see here. And also this is a lot of the cars passing by. Okay, so do you have any question about any surrounding area about this building? I can show a little bit more later. Okay, Scott, I think I already finished. So if you have any question or if you want to show me anything, you can let me know.
Okay, thank you, Yang, for giving us this tour of the local area. So I think, as Yang said, this area is pretty quiet considering it's still very central. It's close to Young and Wellesley, but not so close that you get a lot of the traffic and local activity, let's say, all the hustle and bustle. So it's quite a nice and quiet area. And as you can see, they've already fenced off the site. They're getting ready probably to start some work on the site. And I think that's why they're gearing up to start signing in June. So, we're starting to market the product now. We're taking worksheets now. I think the sooner you do it, the higher priority you will get on our list. And when we do get units, we will obviously do it by first come, first serve, by worksheet submission. So yeah, if you have any other questions, reach out to us. Either on our website or email us. My email is scottma@homelifelandmark.com. Any other questions, more than welcome to reach out to us. And thank you for joining again. Hope you have a good night and good rest of the week. And we'll chat soon.